Chapter 18. Welcome to this episode of our podcast where we explore the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. Today, we dive deep into the 18th and final chapter of this ancient Hindu scripture. As we reflect on this final chapter, it's important to understand that the Bhagavad Gita is not just a religious text, but a guide to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. This chapter encapsulates the essence of the Gita's teachings and offers us a roadmap for self-realization and liberation. So let's get started with a brief summary of chapter 18. In this chapter, Lord Krishna speaks about the three types of knowledge: action and the nature of renunciation. He explains that there are three types of knowledge: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Sattvic knowledge is pure and leads to self-realization. Rajasic knowledge is driven by selfish desires, and tamasic knowledge is delusional and ignorant. Similarly, there are three types of action: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Sattvic action is performed without attachment. Rajasic action is performed with the desire for personal gain, and tamasic action is performed out of ignorance and delusion. Krishna goes on to explain the nature of renunciation, which is not the renunciation of action, but the renunciation of the fruits of the action. He encourages us to perform our duties without attachment to the results and to offer the fruits of our actions to God. Throughout this chapter, Krishna emphasizes the importance of selfless service and devotion to God. He explains that true renunciation is not the abandonment of our duties, but the detachment from the results of our actions. By offering our actions to God, we can achieve true liberation and attain union with the divine. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key themes and teachings of this chapter. Firstly, Krishna emphasizes the importance of selfless action. He explains that performing our duties without attachment to the results is the key to attaining true liberation. This means that we should not be attached to the success or failure, but instead focusing on doing our best and offering the fruits of our actions to God. This idea of selfless action is especially relevant in our modern life, where success and material wealth are often seen as the ultimate goals. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that true happiness and fulfillment can only be found through selfless service and devotion to God. Another important theme in this chapter is the nature of knowledge. Krishna explains that there are three types of knowledge, and that only sattvic knowledge leads to self-realization. Sattvic knowledge is pure, free from desires, and leads to a deeper understanding of the self and the universe. Rajasic and tamasic knowledge, on the other hand, are driven by selfish desires and lead to ignorance and delusion. This idea of different types of knowledge is especially relevant in our age of information overload, where we are bombarded with all kinds of knowledge and opinions. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that not all knowledge is equal, and that we should strive for pure, selfless knowledge that leads to true wisdom and understanding. Krishna also speaks about the nature of renunciation in this chapter. He explains that true renunciation is not the abandonment of our duties, but the detachment from the fruits of our actions. This means that we should perform our duties with dedication and devotion, but without attachment to the results. This idea of detachment is especially relevant in our modern world, where we are often obsessed with the success and material gain. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that true happiness and fulfillment can only be found through detachment and surrender to God. In conclusion, the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita offers us a powerful and timeless message that is just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. It reminds us of the importance of selfless action, pure knowledge, and detachment from the fruits of our actions. As we navigate the complexities and challenges of modern life, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of material success and forget the true purpose of our existence. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that our ultimate goal is not just material success or personal happiness, but the attainment of self-realization and union with the divine. So let us take the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita to heart and strive to live a life of selfless service, pure knowledge, and detachment from the fruits of our actions. Let us offer our actions to God and surrender to the divine will, knowing that true happiness and fulfillment can only be found in union with the divine. Thank you for joining us on this podcast journey. As we wrap up this 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we hope you find the teachings insightful and inspiring. May you be blessed with peace, love, and wisdom on your journey of self-discovery and liberation. Namaste. You have reached the end of our podcast journey on the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a profound spiritual text that provides guidance and insight into the nature of reality, the purpose of life, and the path to liberation. Through its teachings, we can learn about the true nature of the self, the importance of selfless action, and the power of devotion to the divine. The Gita reminds us that we are not just physical beings, but spiritual beings on a journey of self-discovery. It teaches us that our actions have consequences and that we must strive to act selflessly for the greater good. Furthermore, the Gita highlights the importance of devotion to the divine as a means of transcending the ego and achieving union with the ultimate reality. It shows us that through devotion and surrender, we can overcome the limitations of the mind and attain a state of eternal peace and bliss. Overall, the Bhagavad Gita is a timeless spiritual masterpiece that continues to inspire and guide people on their spiritual journeys. Its teachings offer us a path to inner transformation and ultimate liberation, and its message is as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago when it was first revealed. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we hope you achieve the spiritual enlightenment that you are seeking. Namaste.